Did you know that over 500,000 people left the UK in just 1 year? And that number is still rising. Quietly, steadily, a wave of departures is sweeping across the nation. Families, professionals, students, even retirees are packing their bags and saying goodbye to Britain. But this isn't just about sunshine or adventure. Something deeper is pushing people out. Behind closed doors, many are facing a growing sense of discomfort, frustration, and even fear. From skyrocketing living costs to overwhelmed hospitals, rising crime, and political instability, life in the UK is changing fast. And while these issues might seem manageable on the surface, for thousands, they've become deal breakers. People aren't just leaving, they are escaping. So what exactly is going wrong? And why are more people choosing to build a life somewhere else before 2026? Stay with us, because the real reasons might just surprise you. Number 1. Cost of living crisis. It's no secret that the cost of living in the UK has spiraled out of control. But what's alarming is just how quickly it's happened. Basic groceries that once cost a few pounds are now double the price. Energy bills have soared, with millions of households reporting they are forced to choose between heating and eating during the colder months. According to the Office for National Statistics, inflation reached its highest level in over 40 years. And while headlines claim it's easing, everyday people are still feeling the crushing weight of rising expenses. This financial pressure is pushing many to rethink their future in the UK. For some, it's about escaping the constant budgeting, the stress of rent hikes, or the feeling that no matter how hard you work, you're barely surviving. Countries like Portugal, Bulgaria, and parts of Southeast Asia are becoming hotspots for British expats, not because they are luxurious, but because they are livable. In places like these, families can afford decent housing, healthier food, and a calmer lifestyle, all on a modest income. It's not just a move abroad, it's a financial reset. What's most striking is that it's not just the unemployed or low-income families making the leap. Middle-class professionals, even dual-income households, are finding it harder than ever to stay afloat. When you combine rising mortgage rates, stagnant wages, and the increasing cost of essentials, the numbers just don't add up. It's no longer about thriving, it's about surviving. And for thousands, the decision to leave the UK isn't about abandoning home. It's about finding a place where they can actually live with dignity, freedom, and a future that feels within reach. Number 2. Housing crisis. For many in the UK, owning a home has become an unreachable dream rather than a basic milestone of adulthood. The average house price has skyrocketed to over £280,000, while wages have struggled to keep up. First-time buyers now need deposits of £50,000 or more, especially in places like London or the Southeast. Renting isn't any easier. With average monthly rents hitting record highs, even sharing a flat has become unaffordable for many young professionals. It's not just about comfort anymore. People are being priced out of stability. This crisis isn't just affecting low-income earners. Even those with decent jobs are being squeezed by rising mortgage rates, stricter lending criteria, and a severe lack of available housing. With demand far outpacing supply, bidding wars for basic properties are now common. And when you do manage to secure a place, you're often left with outdated infrastructure, poor insulation, and sky-high utility bills. For many, the question becomes, why keep pouring money into a system that's clearly broken? That's why more and more Brits are looking abroad for alternatives. In countries like Spain, Greece, or even parts of Eastern Europe, you can still find charming homes for a fraction of UK prices, and with lower living costs to match. The appeal isn't just financial, either. It's about freedom from constant housing stress, about waking up in a place where you're not drowning in debt just to keep a roof over your head. For thousands, leaving the UK isn't about luxury. It's about finding space to breathe, a chance to own, and the peace of mind that comes with knowing your home is truly yours. Number 3. NHS struggles. For many in the UK, the promise of free, accessible healthcare through the National Health Service, NHS, feels increasingly like a fading ideal. The waiting lists for hospital treatment have ballooned to record highs. As of 2025, roughly 7.4 million clinical pathways are waiting care. What's wise? Millions of people referred by their GPS have yet to even have a first specialist consultation or diagnostic test, meaning their health concerns linger unresolved, sometimes for months or longer. For individuals and families, these delays are more than just inconvenient. They can be life-altering. Chronic conditions, mental health issues, or serious ailments like cancer or cardiac problems may worsen while waiting for care. Long wait times contribute to stress, uncertainty, and declining quality of life. Even when care is eventually delivered, the delay can mean more complex, more expensive treatment, or worse, irreversible damage. Faced with this reality, many are reconsidering whether staying in the UK makes sense, especially when alternatives abroad promise faster, more reliable healthcare access. For some, the decision to leave isn't about chasing luxury. It's about preserving health, avoiding unnecessary suffering, and knowing that if illness strikes, they'll get timely care. This healthcare crisis alone is enough reason for thousands to begin searching for a new home outside the UK. Number 4. Mental health and the weather. The UK's long, grey winters aren't just a nuisance. For many, they're a serious mental health trigger, with some parts of the country seeing as little as 1 hour of sunlight per day in December. The lack of natural light has been linked to a sharp rise in seasonal affective disorder, depression, and general feelings of fatigue. According to the NHS, around 2 million people in the UK suffer from SAD, with many more affected by the general gloom that dominates the winter months. For those already juggling financial stress, long work hours, and limited outdoor activity, the lack of sunlight only makes things worse. This connection between environment and mental health is pushing people to rethink where and how they want to live. In sunnier countries like Spain, Portugal, or even southern France, the climate offers more than just pleasant weather. It contributes directly to a better mood, healthier routines, and greater opportunities for exercise, social life, and rest. More daylight means more time outside, lower rates of depression, and an improved sense of well-being. And for those who work remotely or are self-employed, relocating somewhere sunnier has become an achievable and appealing lifestyle change. Mental health is often invisible, but it has a massive impact on everyday life. People aren't just leaving the UK to chase the sun. They are leaving to reclaim their energy, happiness, and mental clarity. Whether it's waking up to blue skies or being able to go for a walk after dinner without rain or darkness, the simple joys of better weather can be transformative. And when combined with lower stress levels and a slower pace of life, it's easy to see why more people are choosing to move somewhere that helps them feel human again. Number 5. Tax burden. For many working and middle-class families in the UK, the growing tax burden has become impossible to ignore. Despite earning modest incomes, people are finding themselves paying more tax than ever, with little noticeable return in public services. The basic rate of income tax, national insurance contributions, council tax, and VAT on everyday essentials all add up, and after bills, food, and rent, there's often nothing left to save. Post-pandemic policies and inflation have pushed tax revenues to a 70-year high, meaning many feel they're giving more while receiving less. What's more frustrating is the lack of transparency and visible benefit from these contributions. Public transport is inconsistent, the NHS is underfunded, and local services continue to decline. For many, it feels like they're being penalized simply for trying to make a living. Even those who have saved carefully, invested in pensions, or built small businesses are facing higher tax brackets and lower returns. There's a growing sentiment that the tax system is no longer about fairness, it's about survival. And for some, it's no longer worth it. That's why a rising number of UK citizens are looking to relocate to countries with simpler, more efficient tax systems. Nations like the UAE, Singapore, or even some EU countries offer lower income tax rates, fewer deductions, and clearer financial pathways to build real wealth. For digital nomads and remote workers, tax-friendly destinations have become especially attractive, allowing them to keep more of what they earn while enjoying a higher quality of life. Leaving the UK, for many, isn't just about escaping a high-tax society, It's about taking back control of their finances and creating a future where their hard work actually pays off. If any of these reasons are hitting close to home, don't just keep it to yourself. Tell us in the comments. We read every one, and your story might spark the next video. And hey, if you appreciate the effort we put into these deep dive topics, support us with just one click. Hit that subscribe button and stay connected. Number 6. Political uncertainty. In recent years, the UK has become a country marked by deep political instability and polarization. From the divisive Brexit referendum to frequent changes in leadership, including 5 different prime ministers in just over a decade, many citizens feel a growing sense of disconnection from those in power. Policy U-turns, lack of long-term vision, and short-term political point scoring have made it difficult for people to feel confident in the nation's direction. Whether you're left, right, or somewhere in the middle, there's a widespread belief that the government is failing to represent ordinary people. This uncertainty affects more than just the headlines. It influences every part of daily life. Constant changes in immigration policy, education reforms, housing laws, and public spending make it nearly impossible to plan for the future. Many families feel they are building their lives on unstable ground, never knowing what rules might shift next. Young people in particular have grown increasingly frustrated with the political landscape, with polls showing a steep decline in trust and engagement. As hope in national leadership fades, the idea of a fresh start in a more stable country becomes increasingly attractive. For those seeking long-term stability, countries with consistent governance and clearer political direction are proving more appealing. Places like Canada, Germany, or the Netherlands offer not only strong public institutions but also a sense of trust between the government and its people. Moving abroad is no longer seen as giving up. It's seen as opting out of chaos. For many UK citizens, leaving is about choosing a place where policies make sense, leadership is steady, and the future feels a little more certain. In a world already filled with uncertainty, fewer people are willing to gamble their lives on a system that feels broken. Number 7. Better jobs abroad. The way we work has changed dramatically, and for many in the UK, the job market simply hasn't kept up. While the country boasts a strong economy on paper, wages have stagnated, job security is shaky, and industries like healthcare, education, and hospitality are facing mass burnout and staff shortages. The cost of commuting, long working hours, and limited upward mobility are leaving many professionals feeling trapped and underappreciated. Even those with degrees and years of experience often find themselves stuck in roles that don't reflect their skills or offer meaningful progression. At the same time, the global job market is opening up in ways we've never seen before. Countries around the world are actively recruiting skilled British workers, offering higher salaries, better benefits, and improved work-life balance. Nations like Germany, Canada, Australia, and the Netherlands have shortages in healthcare, engineering, IT, and education, and they are making it easier than ever for expats to relocate. Even remote roles are changing the game, with companies in the US or Asia hiring UK talent to work from anywhere, often for significantly higher pay than local employers offer. This global mobility has empowered more people to explore life outside the UK, not just for the adventure, but for fairer opportunities. Imagine doing the same job you do now, but earning more, working fewer hours, and actually having time to enjoy your life. That's not just wishful thinking anymore. It's a reality for thousands who have already made the leap. Whether it's to escape burnout, break free from wage stagnation, or simply gain recognition and respect, leaving the UK for better job prospects is becoming a smart, strategic move, not just a bold one. Number 8. Education costs and quality. Education in the UK, once considered one of its strongest assets, has become a source of growing concern for many families. Tuition fees for university students in England are now among the highest in the world, with young people graduating with an average debt of over £45,000. Student loan interest rates, while fluctuating, remain burdensome, and many graduates spend decades repaying a loan for a degree that may no longer guarantee stable employment. At the same time, cuts to school funding and overworked teachers are affecting the quality of education at the primary and secondary levels. Parents are increasingly worried about overcrowded classrooms, outdated facilities, and the pressure placed on students to perform in rigid, exam-focused environments. Despite the high costs, there's a growing belief that the system is no longer delivering value. Meanwhile, families with younger children are struggling with expensive childcare and preschool options that often cost more than a monthly mortgage. For middle-income households, investing in their children's future within the UK system feels less like a choice and more like a financial gamble with no guarantees. That's why many are looking overseas, where education is both more affordable and often more progressive. Countries like Germany, the Netherlands, and the Nordic nations offer low-cost or even free university education, and many programs are now available in English. Families relocating abroad also report more balanced, student-centered school systems that focus on creativity, well-being, and life skills, not just exam scores. For both students and parents, the decision to leave the UK is often about more than money. It's about giving the next generation a better start, a broader perspective, and a chance to grow without the heavy burden of debt. And for many, that future lies far beyond the UK's borders. Number 9. Safety and crime concerns. One of the most unsettling trends in recent years is the rising concern over safety and crime in many parts of the UK. Violent incidents, particularly knife crime, have increased sharply in major cities, with police forces stretched thin and communities feeling the impact. In London alone, knife crime rose by more than 14% in 2024, and similar spikes have been reported in cities like Birmingham and Manchester. These aren't just numbers. They reflect a growing atmosphere of fear, especially among parents, young people, and those living in urban areas. What once felt like safe neighborhoods are now plagued by antisocial behavior, vandalism, and drug-related crime. The problem isn't just about the crimes themselves, but the lack of faith in the justice system. Police response times are getting slower, court backlogs are growing, and repeat offenders often face minimal consequences. Many residents report feeling helpless, unheard, or even ignored when raising safety concerns. Public spaces, from parks to high streets, are being abandoned not because of neglect, but because people simply don't feel secure in them anymore. This slow erosion of public trust and everyday safety is pushing families to consider whether the UK is still the right place to build a future. That's why many are choosing to relocate to countries where public safety is a visible priority. Places like Japan, Denmark, and Austria consistently rank among the safest in the world, with low crime rates and strong community policing. It's not about running from problems. It's about moving toward peace of mind. For parents, the idea of letting their children walk to school without fear or enjoying a late-night stroll without tension is incredibly powerful. Safety isn't just a luxury, it's a basic human need. And when that need isn't being met, people begin to look elsewhere. Number 10. Work-life balance. In the UK, the culture of overwork has become so normalized that many people no longer question it. Long commutes, unpaid overtime, limited annual leave, and a pressure to constantly be productive have created a society where burnout is worn like a badge of honor. The average full-time worker in the UK clocks in more than 42 hours per week, one of the highest in Europe. But despite working longer, many don't feel they're getting ahead, just running on a treadmill that never stops. There's little time left for rest, family, hobbies, or simply living life. This imbalance is now one of the biggest reasons people are leaving. The pandemic opened many eyes to the fact that life doesn't have to be this stressful. Countries like the Netherlands, Sweden, and New Zealand have built cultures that prioritize mental well-being, personal time, and employee satisfaction, without sacrificing economic growth. In these places, shorter work weeks, flexible schedules, and generous holiday allowances are the norm. Workers are still productive, but they are also allowed to be human, to rest, to disconnect, to enjoy their lives outside of work. More and more UK residents are realizing they don't have to accept the grind. Remote work and international opportunities have made it possible to design a life where work supports your lifestyle rather than consumes it. For many, moving abroad isn't about earning more money. It's about gaining more time, more freedom, and more balance. Whether it's having dinner with family every night, enjoying a real weekend, or simply feeling like life isn't passing them by, the appeal of a better work-life balance is powerful. In a world where time is the one thing you can't earn back, thousands are deciding to spend it somewhere that values it. As we've seen, the reasons thousands are leaving the UK before 2026 aren't just emotional reactions. They're grounded in real, tangible challenges. From the unbearable cost of living to an overwhelmed healthcare system, political chaos, and the growing desire for a better quality of life, people are making one of the hardest decisions of all: to leave their home in search of something more stable, more joyful, and more human. And while not everyone can or will make that move, the fact that so many are even considering it says something important about the state of life in the UK today. But this isn't just about leaving, it's about choosing. Choosing better weather, better opportunities, better systems, and above all, a life where dignity and peace of mind aren't luxuries, but expectations. Whether or not you agree with every reason we've covered, one thing is clear: the quiet exodus is no longer just a trend, it's a message. People are no longer willing to settle for survival. They want to live fully. And for many, that means looking beyond the border. So now, we want to hear from you. Would you ever consider leaving the UK? Or have you already made the move? Share your story, your thoughts, or your dream destination in the comments below. Your voice could inspire someone else. If you found value in this video, please remember, it takes a lot of research and care to put content like this together. So if you'd like to support us, just click that subscribe button. It's free, it's easy, and it means the world to us. And don't forget to check out our other videos for more insights that just might change how you see the world.